Ayo. This video right here, as you can tell from the title, I'm pretty sure it's kind of self-explanatory, something that we can all relate to. So we're just gonna jump straight into it. This video right here is called Breaking Up with Mr. Procrastinator. Or Mrs. Procrastinator, if we're into that. It's something that a lot of us struggle with, and it's something, this is actually, I've got a suggestion for me to do it twice by two different people. So this is that. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. In order to be able to understand how to get over something or how to defeat something, we have to first understand why it's happening in the first place. Understand the cause, understand the root. So that's what we're gonna be doing in this video, and then we're gonna talk on what we're gonna do to avoid it in the future, right? I'm gonna talk about 6 different causes of procrastination, and then we'll kind of break it up into sections, and then hopefully that helps you identify which problem you're struggling with, and then we can talk about ways to fix it, okay? Cool. So the very first reason out of the 6 we're gonna go over, I don't know what number that was. The very first reason out of the 6 we're gonna go over today is fear of failure. The premise behind the fear of failure reason is if you don't try, you can't fail. But then an argument arises that is not trying, failing in the first place. The main problem with the procrastination for fear of failure concept is it all depends on how you look at failure. Failure is not a dead end. Failure is a step closer to success. It's all about how you think about it. A second reason that people procrastinate is because they struggle with this excessive perfectionism type thing. So this is really for people who have like unreasonably high expectations of themselves. If you have a really high expectation of yourself that you know you can't meet, you're not even gonna try because you want it to be this perfect thing. So that definitely becomes a problem with trying new things. So what you'll find yourself doing is you'll put it off until you can do it perfectly. So as a reference to my other video, go with the layup, you won't take the layup. You're waiting for the 3. The thing is, just do it. It doesn't have to be this big thing or this super big perfect thing. How will you know that it's perfect if you don't start? That's like me saying I don't want to start YouTube until I have 1 million subscribers. You gotta start. It's the grind of it. You have to just work through it. The third reason is having low energy levels. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on this one because I feel like people struggle with this one a little bit. This is a pretty common one. So we're gonna talk about this for just a second, okay? It's pretty simple. This one is just like, you just don't have the energy, or you call it lazy or whatever you want. You just lack the energy to actually get the job done. And the lack of energy could be to a number of different things. It could be to sleep, diet, or just your lifestyle. It's pretty easy to self-diagnose. You know lack of energy is the problem if you have the want to be active and productive, but lack the energy to actually do it. Like I read in the article, this was a really good way of saying it. The mind is willing, but the flesh isn't. The one thing you might could do to kind of help you out with this is change your lifestyle. One way of doing that might include watching who you hang around. You might have to distance yourself from certain people. I know that I had to. If all your friends are procrastinators, their sluggish ways can start to drain off on you. And it's okay to switch up your crowd. I'm not saying you have to let that person go all together, but sometimes it's really good to take some distance, especially if their ways are kind of pulling on you. If you hang around that energy too much, it's gonna start to affect you. So you might need to change your crowd. Hang around some doers. Spend a little less time with people who talk a lot about what they're gonna do and don't ever actually do it, and a little bit more time with people who get the job done. You'll be surprised how much that alone motivates you. Another thing you can do is experiment with different lifestyle changes, like whether it be changing your diet or changing, experimenting with how much sleep you get or exercise. Those things might be able to pinpoint you to see why you're feeling a little sluggish or drained off. If that's the problem, you might already have a pretty good idea of what that might be, so just kind of plug and chug and see what works best for you. Another thing you can do about if it's low energy, pray about it. That might sound like unrealistic to some people, but you have to understand, like, if it's important to you, it's important to God too, and you have to think about the fact that you being sluggish or lazy or not wanting to do anything, that's not what God wants for your life. He wants you to be active and to be motivated. You have jobs to get done, so you have to have the energy to get it done, okay? So you can literally pray for that. Ask for those things that seem little. Start to break those chains. And yeah, there's some work you're gonna have to do on your end too. You're gonna have to put forth that effort, but you can definitely ask the Holy Spirit for guidance and for help with that. Okay, so definitely this is my go-to pro tip for this, for low energies. Start with the small stuff. You have to have a why do tomorrow what you can do today type attitude to kind of break this habit. When it's something simple like washing a dish out or making a sandwich or something else little, you have to start breaking that habit. Just do it. And I know that that's easier said than done, but with the little things, just get up, like just do it. Like, I'm not talking about the really big things right now because that is a little hard. We're working on that, but you have to start with these little things, okay? So when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, you'll have a big pot on the stove, talking about you letting it soak. You know what I mean? If you don't wash that dish out, like, start breaking procrastination with these little things, the things that you really can do right now. Start breaking the spirit of laziness with that small stuff. You have to be able to handle this with the least of things, okay? If you can't break it with something as simple as washing out a cup, how do you really expect to be able to break it when it comes to something bigger, like starting a major project? When it seems little or insignificant, or, oh, I can do it tomorrow, you have to do it today. When it's those little things that really you could just wash out the cup right now, get started, knock it out. It's deeper than the fact that, yeah, it might not make a difference if you do it now or an hour from now. But it might not make a difference for that specific event, but it makes a difference for your mindset, for the way you're training yourself to do things now. Because then that's going to help you when you have something bigger to do down the line. So start with the small stuff. And then the last little tidbit under low energy levels, if it's deeper than that, if it's something that's rooted a little bit deeper, maybe you might need a medical professional. And that's okay. If it's for you, you know it's for you. Okay, so we gotta stop taking mental illnesses lightly. Take control of your mental health, okay? And the fourth reason that people procrastinate is just no focus, no sense of direction in life. You don't know where you're going, you have no endpoint. There's nothing to work towards. It's just in the here and now. So in that case, you can see how procrastinating is just a way of life because, I mean, if you don't really have anything you're working towards, you're not really procrastinating, you're just kind of like drifting. A way to kind of get out of this is set goals for little stuff. Set goals for the day-to-day tasks. You feel so, well, I guess some people, you feel so much more accomplished when you can check little things off a list. I set goals for little stuff, like cleaning my room, which sometimes isn't always little stuff, or washing my hair, or reading the Bible, or just little things. Because as you go throughout your day, you mark it, it makes you feel good. If you're gonna do that, definitely make sure you're setting realistic and attainable goals, okay? High enough that it encourages you to actually take the action, but not too high to the point where you're likely to fail, or where it's too overwhelming to even start. That types of things can have negative effects on your motivation and your drive, which is the complete opposite of what we're trying to do, okay? So start small with your goals, because the motivation that you get when you actually complete those little goals, the motivation that you get to continue is awesome. It'll give you motivation to continue. The fifth reason that I came up with, too long of a deadline. I know that's the thing with me. Because you ever have like that guilty free time? Like you feel bad for doing something fun when you know that you're supposed to be doing work. So then you stop doing the fun thing. You basically procrastinate. So you're not doing your work and you're not doing the fun thing. So you're procrastination. That's the ultimate level of procrastination right there. You have to have that just do it now type attitude. Because I know for me, too long of deadlines are killer. I have to kind of tell myself, hey, we got 2 days to get this done. And then that way you can get it started right away. It's really, all of this is really all how you think about things. It's all in your mind. The sixth and final reason that I came up with is when something is too overwhelming. You'll procrastinate when something is too overwhelming. You have so much to do, you know it's going to take so much time, so you just don't even want to get started. The thought of even getting started is just like, bruh. So what you have to do is you have to break it down. Don't look at the whole staircase. Take it one step at a time, one task at a time. The mind is a powerful tool, man. So I hope those tips helped you. What you have to do is you have to break the habit now. Okay? You form habits, and then later habits form you. So get on top of it now. Be a doer. You have to have that why do tomorrow what you can do today attitude, okay? That's really all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched that and you liked it or you got anything out of it, please give me a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Comment, please. I know a lot of you guys like to comment from me on Facebook or on Instagram or Snapchat, and I appreciate that a lot. But if you can comment down below under the video, that would mean a whole lot. It means a lot for my channel. So if you could do that as well, I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. And tune in next Sunday at 5 p.m. EST for another video. I'm really excited for some things that I got coming up next to you. So stay tuned. Thanks.